Greetings, YouTube. Temple of the Adversarial Forge. I always get this question, and I'm sure we all do. You get newcomers to the black arts, and they want to know, where do I start? What order should I join? What books should I read? It's an understandable question, okay? But before I get into the answer, I have to really talk about why I just blow people off in regard to it. Because my following question, I always answer this question with a question. Well, what are you doing? I hate the question because, number one, it shows a complete lack of initiative. I mean, basically what you're saying when you ask this question is, instead of learning how to fish, just give me all your fish. Just give it to me. Hand it to me. As if this grimoire is going to suddenly make you an all-powerful sorcerer. Please. I've been doing this on and off my whole life, consistently for the past 4 years. And I'm still not all-powerful. I work my butt off to get the knowledge and wisdom and results that I obtain. And I'm supposed to just give it away? MAGA, please. It don't work like that. Okay? But if you want to be successful in sorcery, I'm going to give you some places to start. And they're not found in any grimoire. They're not found within any order. They're found here and up here. Okay? Number one, you need goals. You need to ask yourself, why do I even want to start walking down this path? What is it that I want to achieve? I am here now. How can I use sorcery to get over here? Then you need to answer honestly. And you need to have goals that are reachable. Okay, I don't care if you want to start manifesting a cup of coffee once a week. You know, start small and build on your successes. Success breeds success. This lies true in almost anything that you do. Whether you're talking about sports performance, okay, whether you're talking about work, okay, have you ever started a job where first day on the floor you just sucked, 3 weeks later you're fired or you walk out? Well, why do you think that is? You're trying to build on failure. You're trying to breed success from failure. I'm not saying it can't be done. Of course it can. But you want to build a foundation, okay? And the only way that you're going to get anywhere in regard to sorcery is if you know where you're trying to go. Second, this is one of the first things Michael W. Ford talks about doing. You know, take your top 3 bad habits. And he recommended utilizing sorcery to break these bad habits. If you want to do that, go ahead. But honestly, the most important attribute or quality that a sorcerer can have is a strong will. Therefore, it is my suggestion, if you are an alcoholic, quit drinking through will alone. If you smoke cigarettes, quit smoking through will alone. If you lead a rather sedentary lifestyle and all you do is come home from work, eat, and go to bed, commit to transforming self through exercise, through will alone. Okay? Find ways to develop your will. Face your fears through will alone. Strengthen will. That's very important. It's the most important thing you can do. The most important magic that any of us can do is meditation. That's got to be the foundation of your sorcerer's practice. It's got to be. In order for sorcery to work, you've got to know how to reach altered states of consciousness. This is how miracles are made. Without that, you're just reading words out of a book and lighting candles. You've got to be able to change and maintain certain levels of consciousness. You have to. So that's 3 things so far. Meditation. Okay. Strengthen the will. Stop bad habits. Face fears through will alone. And know where you're trying to go. Know what goals you're trying to achieve. Energy work. All right. Now there's a reason why I'm constantly promoting Kundalini style meditation. And that reason is you're basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're raising energy, your own energy. You're working with and manipulating personal energy, as well as meditating and reaching an altered state of consciousness. Doing traditional meditation can work just as well. If you're working other systems of energy work like Qigong, Tai Chi, there's a crap load of exercises you can find, guys. Energy work, Send me an orange ball, let me feel what color it is. You get the idea. It's Wicca 101 stuff. Now, in regard to what books to read, guys, read what interests you, for Christ's sake. If you like Michael W. Ford, read his work. If you like E.A. Coetting, read his work. If you like Mark Allen Smith, read his work. I don't care if you like Anton LaVey. Read his work. Crowley, just read it. Pick up anything you can and read it. I'm not the person that's going to sit here and tell you this book is something you have to read. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There is not one grimoire that has all of the answers. There's just not one out there. Now, I have found that each tome that I have purchased offers a little something. Okay, it has influenced me in some way. But that's because I allowed it to. I see too many people on Facebook just completely dogging and dissing other authors. I don't understand why. Because you know what? You might not believe with what, you might not pick up what they're throwing down completely. But you got to leave yourself open to what is useful. I catch everyone throwing out the baby with the bathwater, man. I don't want you reading the same books as I did. Go out and read something new. Let me know how it is. Read what interests you. I'm not going to tell you to read Liber Falcifer if anti-cosmic Satanism isn't your thing. Okay, if you are a theistic Satanist, I'm not going to tell you to read The Devil's Notebook. You gotta, take some initiative. Pick up what you can afford. Deal with the hand that you're dealt. Play with the hand that you're dealt. That's all I'm saying. If you can't afford an $80 grimoire, go to the store and see what you can find. Start somewhere. Okay? Where should you start? I'm going to tell you where you should start. Inside, within. You got to light and ignite that black flame through initiative, through will, desire, and belief. And as you do that, everything else is going to fall into place. All of a sudden, somebody's going to offer to let you check out this order, this web page. It'll be a perfect match. You'll have the money in your pocket, bada bing, bada boom. Now all of a sudden you're part of a group if that's what you want. But I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people use these magical orders as canopies to help them weather the storms of life. It's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, these canopies tend to be the very things that hinder you from ascending up into the heavens. Instead of using these orders as canopies to help you weather the storm, you need to put them under your feet like trampolines and use them as tools to ascension, because that's what they are. They're tools. It's no different than a carpenter with his hammer and saw. Okay, it's not the goal in and of itself. The goal is to build that reality around you that you want. Okay, so I don't want to hear, Palm, what do you think about this in this order? I don't want to hear, Palm, what book should I read? That's not my business. It's really not. I've got so many other things that I need to be doing. I'm not going to do what you can be doing for yourself. Okay, that's ridiculous. Do I look like a Catholic priest? I'm not going to pay your electric bill. So take the initiative. Okay, decide where you want to go. Map out how you're going to get there. All right, meditate, meditate, meditate. Train yourself to alter those states of consciousness and do energy work. All right? Face your fears. Break your top bad habits with will alone. Another suggestion is exercise. High magic is about transforming self. It's about discipline. So do that. Discipline yourself. Transform yourself at the most basic, obvious level. Transform your body according to will. You know what I mean? Give it a shot. See where it goes. These things, I know they sound like I'm really just trying to avoid people and avoid helping them. That's not the case. You ask anybody. I'm going to help out wherever I can, unless I feel like you're being lazy. So you have to understand this one thing. Occult power has checks and balances. Okay? If you don't have the discipline to change self, you're never going to gain the power to change anything outside of you. Now, when you gain mastery of self, now all of a sudden, you can start mastering the circumstances around you. You've got to look at consciousness as your brain within this thick skull. Okay? And as the average person, There's a bunch of chaos going on in here. Okay, you're at work, you're wondering who your wife's at home banging, what she's gonna cook for dinner when she's done, what store you're gonna have to go to after work to buy the ingredients, who you're gonna be banging next week. I mean, come on, these are the types of things I see people thinking about all the time. Now, I'm not saying everybody's thinking that stuff. We've all got legitimate things we think about, but it's chaos, and it's stuck in here. Now, when you learn to quiet this chaos, you learn to shut it up. At this point in time, it's like taking this rock and tossing it into a lake. Splash. You look at the lake as other people's consciousness. Now, what does that rock do when it hits the consciousness of these other people? Well, it sends out ripples. They cover the whole surface of the pond. It's a good analogy for sorcery, because once you gain this level of self-mastery, mastery of the chaos within, now your consciousness isn't stuck within this thick skull. It's affecting the consciousness of everyone around you as well, increasing your power and your influence within the world. That's only going to happen through self, through effort, discipline, will, desire, belief, and an ass ton of hard work. Just because you spend $120 on a grimoire doesn't mean that when you receive it, all of a sudden you're going to be able to twinkle your nose and solve all your problems. The only thing that's going to get you is with an empty wallet or purse. You're wasting your time spinning your wheels. Starts in here. With that being said, this is Palm Draconis. I'm out.